really thank you for your patience while we get started. And to welcome you to the press launch of the Jamaica International Badminton Championships 2016, scheduled for next week, 17th to the 20th. At this time, we will now stand for the singing of the national anthem. We all sing together. After one. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil paths. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be yours forever, Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all, service must to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to cherish, give us vision lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever, Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. I'll do my best at the opening prayer. Dear Lord, bless these proceedings at this first launch of our annual Jamaica International Badminton Championships. Take all participants safely here and allow us to enjoy a very fruitful and rewarding tournament. Thank you. We now have greetings by our President, David Thomas.
Good morning, everybody. First and foremost, let me thank everybody for coming. This is the press launch of the Jamaica International. This is our second tournament. We had our first tournament last year, which was successful. We hope that this one will be successful as well. And so far, I think we're going down the right road in order to achieve success. I'd like to introduce some people before I begin my very brief remarks. This is a press launch, so I don't want to stay too long. At the head table, on my left, Michael Lambert. Michael is a council member. To his left, Denzel Wicks, who I think needs really no introduction. He has worked very hard. He's a massive supporter of badminton from the Sports Development Foundation. We depend on them, as I keep telling everybody, we depend on them to keep our lights on. Those are the people that are our go-to month after month whenever we need anything year after year. So Mr. Woods is important in our development. To his left is Terry Walker. She also needs no introduction for her, well, I call her Terry, she's a part of the Leo family who has been in badminton, whatever, I'm going to put it that way. And she is the chairperson of the committee that organizes the tournament. And to her left is Nicole Case, who's a council member as well. In this room, there are some powerhouses. I'm going to start, and this is not in order of power. So I'm going to start Mr. Tolan, who is past president of the Jamaica Badminton Association, current vice president of the Badminton World Federation, and president of the Pan Am Badminton Confederation. The list goes on. Mr. Tolan is very influential, ran the JBA and badminton for quite a number of years. And his support is very welcome, and we are pleased to have him here with us. He's Jamaican. We get every support that we can from him, and so he's an important person in our lineup. Standing close to him, also really someone for this room who needs no introduction as well. He comes with everything badminton. A long friend of mine, Robert Richards, past president, retired president, past president. His accolades in badminton, of course, as I said, really needs no introduction. I think he has won everything. There are some people that also in this room who I will mention is surpassing him, but that's because he's getting old, and then it's not because he's old that I'm going to now mention the most honorable, Mike Fennell. A massive supporter of sports, the GOA, and so Mr. Fennell, who again needs no introduction, I just want to say it's honorable doctor, it's all the titles that come along with it. And these are a handful of the people who we're very, very grateful for and help us to put on this event. Without this event, of course, as you can tell, there are a lot of sponsors, and we're very, very appreciative of our sponsors. To name a few, starting with Mayweather Investments, who came on board after having negotiations with them for a while, and finally they have supported badminton throughout the year, and they continue to support this tournament as our title sponsor. We welcome Mayweather Investments Limited. Anika Smith from Mayweather is here, as well as her junior, who is running around doing things. I will get back to the list of sponsors again. I just want to make sure that I welcome the players who are here. Gareth Henry, I see Jordan is also here, Jordan Henry. Anthony McMee and Dennis Cope in the corner over there. These are all players who will be participating in this year's tournament. We expect to see very good things from all of these players. It's going to be a very tough tournament for our local players. And we will discuss that when we discuss the details of the tournament. And I'd also like to welcome the coaches, Howard Ranger, who is our technical director, and Roy Thomas, who is our physical conditioning coach. Howard has been around badminton for a very, very long time, very successful at coaching at the junior level, and is now going through the senior level and helping with the senior coaching. He's the technical director of the Jamaica Badminton Association. And Roy comes with his own set of accolades, I would say. We stole Roy briefly from netball, because netball is doing so well, so we decided to steal Roy. And the idea simply is that if he's successful at creating a women's team or having a world ranking team, he's going to be successful at helping our world ranking. All right. As I said before, this is the second year that we're putting on this tournament. This year is a little tricky, so we'll start there. The trickiness this year is that it's going on when Champs is also going on. But we have our own parking, we also have VIP parking for our sponsors and the very, very important people that are here. But, you know, the stadium is just right here. Some of them tell me they can park here and walk there. So I look forward to it. The tournament runs from Thursday. It starts at 10 in the morning on Thursday. It runs until Sunday. The final starts on Sunday at 5. Players will be shuttled from the hotels to players and officials and people who are struggling on and I just put that in. May use the shuttle service that we'll have running from New Kingston to the stadium. It will be escorted, so it will help to cut down on the time that it takes to get there. And then we will have some other facilities for players, for Jamaican players who are going to be located elsewhere. So we'll be working some of that stuff out in the next few days. Who do we have? We have some very top champions coming, or returning champion from last year will be coming this year. His name is Martin Gouffre. If I have chopped up his name, he's from Canada. He won last year. But we also have some of the top players in the Pan Am region, Howard Chu from the US, Vasilini from Cuba as well, who will be here. And all of them are vying for the one thing that everybody wants to go to in August, which is Olympic points. So they're already on the edge. This tournament is going to help them. The Olympic qualifying period for badminton ends April 30. So these guys are really trying to get every last one so that they can qualify. So we expect to see some really good competition from all aspects of the tournament, on the men's side, on the women's side. The returning champion for the women the runner-up is coming. The defending champion is not coming. But the runner-up from last year for women's singles is also coming. She's from Czechoslovakia. I can't remember her name. Pavlakova is her last name. So we're looking forward to a pretty strong tournament on both the men's side and the women's side. I can't tell you how pleased I am with the effort of the team that has put this tournament together. I want to thank them personally. It's a lot of work. And on the backs of this work is the sponsorship that we received and the value from which sponsors see in badminton and the value that in fact will return to them, which seems to be growing. The last thing I would like to say is badminton is a sport. I think each year that we go through this cycle, we see growth in the sport. We're seeing growth at all levels in the sport, especially, of course, in the youngsters. And we're focused on the youngsters at the beginning of the year. And those are the people I think that you will see in later years as champions. So with that, I say thank you. Thank you again for coming. And I really do appreciate all your help. Sponsors, players, coaches, very important people who I will not mention again. Thank you very much.
Okay, before we move into the sponsors' remarks, we just want to quickly ask Mr. Tolan to say a few words.
President Fennell, David, the rest of the JBA team, sponsors, players, good morning, welcome. I bring you brief greetings on behalf of the Pan Am Badminton Confederation. As you see on your press release, we are one of the sponsors. We are also the sanction for the tournament, and that's how Jamaica ended up getting world ranking points. The Jamaica International is one of the tournaments that will earn points towards qualifying for the Olympics. But quickly, let me just give you a brief outline of Pan Am Badminton. Last year, we hosted approximately close to 27 tournaments within the region, both seniors and juniors. For the seniors, it means that you can stay within the Pan Am region, do not have to go to Europe, Asia, outside of our region to qualify for the Olympics, which is really a big, big feat. in the past, unless you're going to Europe or Asia, you would not earn enough points to qualify. Jamaica, this is our second year, and therefore allows our players, our national players, in their quest to qualify, to earn points from Jamaica. This is our home ground, and therefore it's expected that our players will do well. So for Pan Am, this is very, very, very important. Jamaica is a big part of the region. And I must say, being in Pan Am, Jamaica is now cementing its position as one of the top countries within the region, and for sure the top country within the Caribbean. Not only players, and let me just make quick word here for the administrators of JBA, also coaches, and also technical officials. In other words, Jamaica is seen as a fairly mature association within the region. There's a lot of work still left to be done, but when I look at the other regions, the other countries, and believe it or not, if you go to Europe and Asia, a lot of the countries are not as organized as Jamaica is. I also made that as vice president of the BWFs. I chair the administration, so I have a big say in how the organizations operate, the other member associations. And Jamaica is very, very mature in terms of our organization. So I want to give credit to the JBA for what you're doing and what we have been doing. In terms of the tournament, congratulations for putting together. I think we have 20 countries. It should be a great tournament. The top player from the Caribbean will be here, that was leading from Cuba. So we can expect some exciting tournament. I think also on the list is the winner from last year, from Canada. And just a quick note, badminton in the region is growing. For the Olympics coming up, we should have at least 6 countries from the region: USA, Canada, Brazil, Mexico, Guatemala, and Cuba. Those are sure 6 countries that's going to be participating. I think that's a growth of about 20% over the last Olympics. For 2020, it is our aim to move up to at least 8 to 10 countries. And of course, we want to see Jamaica in 2020 in Japan. So to the JBA, congratulations, I commend you, and I look forward to a great tournament.
Thank you, Mr. Colan. And just briefly, before we ask the sponsors to say a few words, to get the press and everybody a little familiar with we're going to introduce the technical director, Mr. Howard Ranger. So we all know who the names are. Mr. Roy Thomas, he's our trainer. We have some of the players at the back. I just ask them to come forward.
It's been a big turnout. I've never been to a press launch for a badminton tournament before, so they told me to introduce myself. I'm Gareth Henry, and beside me are my teammates, my sister Jardine Henry, and everybody introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Catherine Rington, top female badminton player.
Hi, I'm Dennis Cope, party youth Olympian.
I'm Jordan Turner.
Hi, I'm Anthony Martin. Thank you for coming out, and we'll be sure to put on a good tournament for you guys and come up with some medals.
I really can't believe the maturity some of these guys know, because I remember playing a tournament with Uncle Banton's father, and when he was 14, we actually played a tournament together. Nice to see him on the national team. Okay, we now have Anika Smith of Mayberry to say a few words.
David, other members of the head table, Honorable Dr. Fennell, other past presidents of the Jamaica Badminton Association, other sponsors, athletes, coaches, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good morning. On behalf of Mayberry, I would like to express our privilege of being a part of this tournament, the Jamaica International Badminton Tournament 2016. I think everyone in this room who supports badminton would agree that it is indeed a privilege to be hosting such a tournament. I mean, a tournament where points are gained towards going to the Olympics, and we congratulate David and his team for putting together this tournament. Let's give them a round of applause. We at Mayberry considered our social responsibility to assist in the development of our communities, and we found that one of the ways to do this is through sport. Over the years, we've been increasing our support of sport nationally, and particularly in these less supported sports, niche sports such as badminton. As David mentioned earlier, we've supported badminton over the years, and we've always been pleased with the way our athletes have represented themselves. And we look forward to a successful staging of this event, a great showing by our athletes, and hopefully good representation for us nationally at the Olympics this year. Thank you very much.
We now have the representative from Sun Island to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Sun Island, Jamaica is very pleased to be part of this wonderful event. We were very happy to be being approached by the Jamaica Badminton Association and invited to participate as a sponsor. It was something that the managing director agreed to immediately. It is always a pleasure for us to participate in events that foster sports development in Jamaica, and the Jamaica Badminton Association being one of these organizations. So on behalf of the company, we'd like to say thank you at affording us the opportunity to be a sponsor, and wish you great success with your event and great success to the Jamaican participants as well. And Terry, we look forward to future partnerships with your organization. Thank you.
We now have Maureen Smith of Jamaica Sport to say a few words.
Hello, good morning. It is truly a pleasure to be here today. Jamaica Sport is a new arm of the Jamaica Tourist Board, and of course we are trying to push sport tourism, and an event like this is one way in which we can do that. For us to be hosting it a second time around, it is incredible. It's the same thing we did for beach volleyball. So we have 2 for 2 so far. So we're trying to show the world that Jamaica is a destination that can host international events of world standing. So it is so great to be a partner on this event. We wish David and his team well. We wish Team Jamaica well. We're looking forward to cheering you on while we kind of listen out for champ scores. So we're looking forward to a great tournament, and for next year and the year after that and the year after that. So congrats, and looking forward. Thank you.
Not seeing the representative from the Gleaner, but I just want to say a big thank you on behalf of them for their participation here, because really without the sponsors, this would not be possible. So I just want to say thanks on behalf of the Gleaner. I want to also, to be remiss of me to not mention also Mr. Lisco Jackson, who is also part of the coaching team, Mr. Howard Ranger's assistant. I want to now invite our guest speaker from the Sports Development Foundation, Mr. Denzel Wilkes, to give his message.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President David and your executive, Dr. the Honorable Michael Fennell, my boss, for those who don't know. Oh, no, you're my boss in perpetuity, regardless of what happens with politics. the other members of the executive of the GOA, past executives of the Badminton Association, colleagues, sponsors, competitors, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. I consider it a very special privilege to have been asked to be guest speaker at this launch, when one considers that I have very little knowledge of the technical aspects of the game, and with the availability of so many worthy speakers, I'm at a loss as to my choice, but I have no authority to question the decision making of the JBA executive, and I am humbled. You do not have to look very hard to see that I am from the old school. I went to a primary school where I participated only in cricket and tracks. It wasn't even football. After returning to Kingston, and yes, it was in the country, and hearing about badminton, I became convinced that this is something played in foreign and in the upper reaches of the Jamaican society. I know that I was not the only one with this perception, and I would like to congratulate the executives of the JBA over the last, particularly probably 10 to 15 years, as they have literally removed the barriers between uptown and downtown as far as this sport is concerned. Like so many sports, this one requires a good balance of intellect, physical strength, flexibility, and mental fortitude. As we continue to discover across Jamaica, these attributes are spread right across the length and breadth of this little rock. And once we put our minds to it, we are going to turn the status quo completely upside down. When I began to learn that the so-called inner city schools were not just participating, but in fact were excelling at this hitherto uptown sport, it gave me great pleasure. This development goes beyond the business of excelling at the sport, but it is also a most wonderful tool of social cohesion. Again, I congratulate the leaders through the years and encourage you to continue with the grassroots program in particular, as this will ensure a legacy that will build the sport and assist even with crime reduction as youngsters find positive outlets for their energies. The audacity of those responsible for the promotion and development of this particular sporting activity is of such that they have dared to stage this flagship tournament on the same weekend as the biggest and most well-attended sporting event in Jamaica, Boys and Girls Track and Field Championships. No doubt some will say that there is a thin line between bravery and madness. But when this monumental clash was recognized by the executive, rather than flinching, they simply said, this is the opportunity to grab the attention of the many that have little or no appreciation for badminton by working out some kind of co-marketing. This, in my humble estimation, is a creativity that may very well be found only in Jamaica. It is my humble opinion that it takes some level of, if you'll forgive me, testosterone. And I hope that the excessive levels reside only with the organizers, as Jadco is always on the prowl, and no sport is going to escape the testing. The tournament is sanctioned by the Badminton World Federation and the Pan American Badminton Confederation. This will give our players another opportunity to match their skills against international players on home soil, and no doubt the rest of the region relishes this wonderful opportunity to compete. 20 countries are down to participate this year, and so if I may be allowed to slip into the vernacular, this is no pia-pia tournament. Europe is strongly represented, and so is Asia, South America, Central America, and of course the Caribbean. We speak glibly at times about the business of sport. The tourism industry refers to heads to beds, And events like this bring heads to beds in our hotels, in our guest houses, and even in the homes of our practitioners of the bed and breakfast program. I am very heartened to see Jamaica Sport as one of the sponsors, as it is my understanding that this is the vehicle responsible for bridging that gap between sport and tourism. And so when you approach Independence Park facility, the Independence Park facility in the latter part of next week, and you see flags and feather banners on the western side of the facility, please recognize that Champs is not the only activity taking place. And let us join them as our little but tallow country stages 2 huge championships simultaneously. This is no easy feat, and we congratulate the organizers, the sponsors, and the media as they, the media, weave their magic in bringing it all to Jamaica and the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wilkes. Well said. We now have, David, our president, covered the tournaments in detail, but probably Mr. Lambert would probably want to speak to facilities we have in place, like the medical facility and stuff like that we have in place, because it's a well thought out tournament and he's also very instrumental in the planning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Lambert. I'm a council member and also the chairperson for our medical team for the Jamaica International 2016. David actually had covered most of the details of the tournament, but I just want to add a few little information. As he had mentioned, the tournament starts on Thursday, March the 17th. Goes right up to the 20th. On the 17th, which is the Thursday, we're going to have a morning session based on the rounds of play. Starts at 10. I think we go right up until 10 p.m. So 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. In respect to the medical facility, just want to say the venue, as we all might have known by now, is the indoor center. We have Amicare with us. We have JSN, which is the sports medical body that is on board. A group of voluntary doctors, to name a few, Dr. Deborah Connell, who is our general physician that is assigned voluntarily. Dr. Kingston Ford, who is a past coach and past player, is on board. Dr. Mark Hossan, who is a cardiologist, is also on board. Dr. Michelle Lee Lambert, to name a few. We have full coverage and part sponsorship from Amicare Ambulance Service. So we have a standby service right through the event. And a full team of physiotherapists from the GSM. So the players are fully covered. And in respect to even the Zika virus approach, we have a full coverage and advisory segment and pamphlets for the players. And of course, in our medical supplies, we have random and adequate supply of for mosquito repellent. So that's basically it in a nutshell. We'd like to thank all the sponsors, all the players, all the team for the tournament, and thank you all for coming, and all the best. Hope you enjoy the tournament. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you.
I know the group here will have a few questions. Before we do, we'd like all the sponsor representatives to come forward. Just now. All the sponsor representatives just come forward. member of the press or of the audience wants, now is the time. Mr. Lambert and David are ready and willing and able to answer any questions you may have about the tournament, about the association. So feel free.
Is there additional?
There is admission only for the semi-finals and finals. I think it's $500 for adults and $300 for children.
Time of play.
The time of play on Thursday starts at 10, so it's really 10 to 10. Thursday is a long day. Friday will be 5, Saturday will be 5, 5 to 10, 5 to 10, and Sunday will be 5 to 10. With the exception of Sunday, anybody with a chance ticket can come in. So on Saturday, which is the semifinals, they can come in to the semifinals for free.
I know the last time we tried to let them get out and explore Jamaica. Is that still a part of it, or the time is still time?
The time is still limited, and for individuals, in other words, we're encouraging all the people that come to visit to participate in activities. So we'll have a plan for them and so on. And so we encourage them to go to other places like Montego and so on. Well, I mean, last year I think a lot of people went to Ocho for here, so we're certainly encouraging them as part of the tourism effort.
David, do you have a breakdown on the number of entries per event?
Just from eyeballing, it's probably about 32 or 30 something for the men's singles, about 20, I'd say like about 22 or 23 for the women's singles. The doubles, they're about, maybe I'd say for the men's doubles there's maybe like about 10. And for the women's doubles, there's less. About 8 pairs, and this is just rough numbers from the beginning.
So all events should be worth qualifying parties.
I'm not sure about the women's doubles. Women's doubles. I think
enough entries.
Yeah, I think we were over and then there was a withdrawal.
David, it would be useful if you could tell who's the referee for the tournament, how many points, etc.
The referee is Leon Haynes from Barbados. And Trevor McCain is the assistant referee. We're using 4 courts. What else could I say about the facility? It will be, I guess, I mean, beyond that, we'll have some concessionaires there. I can't tell you exactly who will be there. But the other facilities that are at the venue will be cool for a little while, so it won't get as hot. Right. And also there will be, for parking, there will be a separate entrance for parking. So I think we park not at the main entrance, but at the one further down the road. I don't know what else to tell you about the venue itself.
So, there will be no air conditioning?
We're gonna cool the courts, and then we're gonna stop like about half an hour or so before play starts.
So we can turn it down.
Yeah. And I mean, some other details for the players. I think it's the Yonex AS30 Speed 3. So we'll probably have the same issues that we had last year. For those people who, it's the shuttle, and Speed 3 is a little fast depending on how cool the venue is. So the umpires and the referee will sort it out in terms of tipping. What we call tipping is breaking the edge of the shuttle so that it's slow.
When is the soonest the local players will be able to use the courts?
The courts will be available on Tuesday. So we're going to set up everything on Monday. So we're giving ourselves all of Monday to set up.
When will we be able to go on the courts?
On Tuesday.
The job, it is a job techniques.
I think the draw is available, yeah. So it's on the Panam side, it's on the BWF side as well. So you can see what the draw is like. We will be sending out information, obviously, on a daily basis about the condition of the draw and where we are. We are planning to. We're still trying to sort out some of the details with flow and the streaming part. Question? We'll be filming some of the event as well. Like last year we did the semi-finals and the finals. And hopefully we will get that posted, apart from the work that we will do to post it, but we will try and liaise with BWF and Panam so that we can get a wider reach across the globe. Questions?
Will there be food provided for the local players?
Yes, I think lunch is provided for the local players, the officials as well. Officials meaning lines people and support staff for the tournament.
So since you're running from 10 to 10, is a breakfast, lunch, and dinner thing?
No.
Carry sandwich, Gary.
To what extent do you have volunteers involved in assisting, apart from just
It's a ton of volunteers on the umpires. I think the last count was 19 umpires that were available, and then on the lines, people, and we're still trying to meet a number of like about 50. So we're close, we're getting there. There are more people signing on. There are a whole bunch of other people that help. People that are involved in badminton, parents. Debbie, who's sitting behind you, is a parent, who's Catherine's parent, who has asked us if we need help, and of course we need help. So, so there are a number of things that have to be done. There's a lot of work to be done during the tournament. Just from last year, I saw very little of the tournament last year, simply because there's a lot of stuff that has to be done with transportation and this and that. So this year we have more volunteers, but we also have more space. The indoor center is bigger. We'll have issues obviously with the crowds from champs and so on. So there will be a considerable amount of work to do. It's a more technical event to put on at the indoor sports center, simply because you require fire brigade, you require medical services, you require emergency plans for exits. Just a lot of technical issues in putting it on. So obviously there's a lot more work that goes into it. I can tell you comfortably that most of the messages that we are sending back and forth on WhatsApp are tailoring off like around 2 in the morning. So it's a lot of work that's going into it, and I really do appreciate it. I'm not doing all the work, obviously. There are a lot. One person who's not here, and I should mention her, Dr. Barry, who is very adept at sending out emails and keeps us in line, but she helps us to make sure that the deadlines are met. And unfortunately, she couldn't make it here today. But the short of it is, it's a lot of work to do. And we really appreciate everybody's help: the media, the sponsors, the players, the coaches. I simply can't attend a lot of the training sessions. I've been to one, I think. And it's because it takes a lot of time. We do this almost morning and night.
David, just a word. You have sponsors, SDF, players, and other well-wishers. The reward for good work and hard work is more. May I suggest that the World Junior Championship 2018 is available. That could easily bring to Jamaica at least 500 to 600 junior players, plus their chaperones and family easily 1,000 persons into Jamaica, and you get some grant from BWF to assist. That is something that we look at. 2018 World Junior Championships, badminton.
Right. Well,
Easily bring 1,000 people.
we certainly can discuss it over the next few days. It's something that, in terms of, I know there's another, the Pan Am Championships, Junior
Well, I'm
Championships.
actually stepping up to the World Juniors. Because you're going to get persons right across Asia.
Right.
Peru hosted it last year, had the most persons, over 500 participants. And I think the Pan Am region is right.
For another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2018 is something you could look at.
Okay, thanks. So don't forget, guys, sponsors.
There you go.
What we hope certainly is that all the sponsors that we have are getting value from what we're doing. Apart from the social responsibility of trying to build Jamaica, it certainly is, I would say that the value of helping this sport grow. And without a doubt, numbers are just going to balloon. For those people, some of the sponsors who are involved in the junior program and so on, those sponsors are certainly seeing the benefit, and that benefit rolls through as people get older and you have greater and greater championships. So I'm hoping that what the JBA presents, the sort of the value that the JBA presents to its sponsors is something that the sponsors in turn will appreciate and continue to sponsor the JBA and its progress. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes, I just want to say thanks to our sponsors directly. So Denzel Wilkes, Sports Development Foundation, that's a big thank you. Made their investments. I really don't know how much more to say thanks. Jamaica Sport, our group, The Cleaner, Sun Island, Milex Security, North Business Ecosystems, Tasty, National Outdoor Advertising, JMB, Glasgow iCool, Pure National Ice, so Walton, and Units. We want to say a big thank you, as Mr. Willis reiterated, it is a massive undertaking. I think after this tournament, I don't even want to see David's number on the phone, because that's serious thing about the 2 a.m. thing. Every time I look on the phone, I see a WhatsApp or an email from David, or the General Secretary, and I really don't have much ready to pull out. So, but it has really been a learning process for me. When Mr. Tolan mentioned about the tournament we should look at getting, I know that Nicole is looking at me and looking at the team, but I can hear the yes in her mind. But I want to say thanks to the sponsors. You all made this possible, and it makes all the work that we put in really fulfilling and worthwhile. And I want to thank you for coming out. Thanks for the presence.
Guys, as we break, I also just want to give special thanks to Terry Leo Walker, and where Walker came from. She is the chairman of this team. Right, she's the chairperson of this team, and I want to make sure that we thank her for all the work that she has been doing. She is the person that really, she doesn't like to be in the limelight apparently, but I just want to make sure that she's well recognized. It's easy to stand here and talk. There are a lot of people that do this work, and certainly I would say that Annalise among them. So, and Terry is certainly the champion of the team in putting this thing together. So thank you very much.
Thank you, David. But at the same time, I have to say that it was a pleasure working with a great team. We couldn't have done it with just one person. We worked really hard, we worked together, and everybody was very supportive. So it's not just me. Thank you.